Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Mauh. I have a pick a pile reading for you today. Today is the start of the waning gibbous moon, and I have a pick a card called an encouraging message for you. So hopefully this will lift your spirits a little bit. I tried to pick some decks that were a little more upbeat and happy, and tried to set up, to make it fun and festive, especially since Halloween is coming, or Samhain. So I have 3 piles, but before I get into the piles, I'm going to introduce you to the tarot decks and the oracle decks that I'm using. So I have the Golden Dawn Magical Tarot. I have the Llewellyn Tarot. I have the Alice Wonderland Oracle. Alice the Wonderland Oracle. Sorry, there we go. Alice the Wonderland Oracle. I have the Lightseers Tarot. We have Universal Fantasy Tarot. The Next World Tarot. And last but not least, a tarot deck that I got. Well, it's not a tarot deck; it's more like an oracle deck. But I got it from Witch Casket in the February box, I believe. So it's the Witch Casket Self-Love deck. So that's all the decks I'm using today for your readings. And now let's get into what the piles are. So the first pile is pile number 1. It's represented by the cherry quartz. The second pile is pile number 2. It's represented by the mahogany obsidian. And the third pile is pile number 3. And it's represented by the Brecciated Jasper. It's tiny, this one, but it's pretty. So if you want a little bit of understanding as to what the stones on the piles mean, I'll read a little bit about the stones, and then you can see if you feel like it applies to you and you want to pick that pile. I'm going to be looking down to read my notes. So the cherry quartz, which is pile number 1, it's a powerful healer for emotional wounds. It offers a feeling of a genuine loving environment. It brings serenity, calm, and peace. It works on the heart chakra, restoring the energy and rhythm of your life, and it's a stone of hope. So that was pile number 1 with the cherry quartz. Pile number 2 with the mahogany obsidian grounds and protects, strengthens in times of needs, removes energy blocks, gives new life to your purpose and goals, heals feelings of unworthiness. It corresponds to the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar chakra, and it cleanses all those three chakras. I also wanted to say that the heart chakra works on both on the top chakras and the lower chakras, so it brings all the chakras together into the heart chakra, which was for the cherry quartz. That was pile number 1. Pile number 2 was the mahogany obsidian. And pile number 3 is the Brecciated Jasper. It's like an orangey stone. So this one is good for mental clarity and focus. It increases organization. It decreases stress. It is a stone of strength and vitality. It works on the root and sacral chakras, and how it works on them is it cleanses and stabilizes them. So that's just a little bit of information behind the stones that you're going to pick for the piles. I like to allow you to pick based on your intuition, but also on your mind, and see what, resonates with you as far as what you can hear. So again, the first pile is the cherry quartz. The second pile is the mahogany obsidian. And the third pile is the Brecciated Jasper. So I'm just going to move the piles over, the second and third pile. just to make room for the first pile reading. I'll have timestamps down below for pile number 2 and pile number 3. So I hope you're doing well. I really do like doing pick a pile readings. I find it's fun. It's a little bit more fun than just zodiac readings, but they both have their positives and negatives, I guess, just like anybody and anything. All right, so for those of you who picked pile number 1 with the cherry quartz, this is an encouraging message for you. So let's believe that all these cards will be encouraging. The first card we have is Wake Up, It's Your Moment. And it's from the Alice the Wonderland Oracle. Wake up, it's your moment. So perhaps this is a wake-up call to let you know that life is happening all around you, and it's up to you to join into the dance that is the dance of life. Wake up, it's your moment. Once you wake up, you will perceive the moment that is before you, and you will be able to take it in and to enjoy it. It's also nice because there's a lot of flowers around her, and flowers to me represent like summertime and the warmth and the power of the sun, the vitality of the sun, and the strength of the sun, and the strength of the fire signs, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. And also with the flowers, it can represent spring, right? It could represent the zodiac signs that have to do with spring, such as Taurus. But I mean, anybody can throw out all kinds of zodiac sign names. It doesn't mean anything unless it applies to you. But this card, Wake Up, card number 25, for the fact that it's an encouraging message to you, it's an encouraging message because it means that you're alive. Because if you can wake up, it means that you're sleeping, you're not dead. And when you wake up from your sleep, you can start a new day, you can start new plans, you can make new situations for yourself. And so there's a lot of positivity in that idea that if you can wake up, you can create what you want within yourself. And when you create what you want within yourself, you can create what you want without yourself. And like when I mean without yourself, I mean the things that are without your body, like the things that are outside, I should say, of your body, such as your situations and circumstances. So the second card for you, pile number 1, we have Strength, which is really cool because I was just talking about the sun and Leo and strength. Card number 8 in the Major Arcana. So it's the Strength card. And it's really going to show you that you have the power to create what you want to create. You have the willpower, you have the drive, the energy behind you. You have the love that you need to make things happen around you. So perhaps what you want to do is you want to create a life that you are happy with. And I think that the main way you can do that with the Strength card is just believing in yourself and believing that what you want, you are worthy of. And what you want because there is that good possibility that it's meant for you. It's also pretty because I see a lot of primary colors like the blue, the red, and the green, the primary colors. And to me, it just means that, and then there's the red and the blue create purple, but there's not very much purple here. This kind of looks like purple, but it's black. But I just feel like in this card, it's really about the different colors and how, you know, in the olden days, they used to watch videos in black and white. And then when Technicolor videos came out, it was such an amazing thing. And like everybody was so blown away, and like everybody wanted to go see this new Technicolor like type of movie. And it was an exciting time when movies started coming out in color. And it almost reminds me of that sense that oftentimes we see something so often, like the idea of colored movies now is just an everyday thing, and now we're all into special effects and stuff like that. But I think that the important thing is to remember that at one point everybody thought that colored movies were the bomb.com, and and now nobody even blinks an eye at it. And it's just to show you that with this Wake Up card, sometimes what we need to do is we need to wake up, and we need to realize that just because something has been done over and over and over again and we're so used to it, doesn't mean that there's not magic to it, right? Doesn't mean that there's not a wonder to watching a colored movie, or, you know, seeing flowers around you. Sometimes when it's been a long winter and the summer comes and we start to see flowers again, we start to have that newness about seeing them, and we start to think, oh my god, there's flowers coming out, and we get excited again, like as if we're children. And I think that sometimes we need to miss something in order to know how much we appreciate it. And I think with the wake up card, it's just to go ahead and say, you know, you can wake up at any moment and appreciate your life. So the next card we have is Dream of Maxen Wlegdig. Dream of it's at the top. Dream of Maxen Wlegdig. This is the Lululemon Tarot, but it's the Lovers card, 6, the Lovers. I don't know who Maxen Wlegdig is. I'd have to read the book, but this is the Lovers card, card number 6 from the Major Arcana. And I think that just as going along with the wake up and the strength, and now the Lovers, it's that idea that love is all around you. Love is something that you don't need to call into your life. It's all around you, and it wants to be a part of your life. You are created by love into this world, and you came into this world knowing nothing but love. And with the wake up card, I think it's really interesting because I feel like the first card, being wake up, tells us to wake up when it comes to strength, and tells us to wake up when it comes to love. And so strength is, when we have to wake up in regards to strength, it's waking up in regards to the fact that we are capable. And when we wake up in regards to strength, it's waking up to the fact that we are able to have that sense of awe when we see things of beauty and of value. And then with the Lovers card, it's telling us to wake up in the sense that we need to appreciate all the love that we have around us. And when I say that, I mean, if you have anybody in your life whom you love, or who loves you, or both, it's something that you can be happy about. It's something that is meant for you. It's something that you are blessed to have in your life. And it's really about waking up to see those blessings and to be encouraged, knowing that you are very, very, very blessed, and you are very, very, very fortunate. The next card we have is the Judgment card. Card number 20. So I think that the happiness in this card, the Judgment card, is to say that we are blessed to be able to stand up for what we believe in. Of course, in any country, it would be different than whatever country you're currently living in. So I live in Canada. Perhaps you live in the States. There's been riots here in Canada about not wearing masks, and about different people's rights and stuff like that. And then there's been riots in the States as well. And I believe there's been riots in Europe. And, you know, even in places where there is communism, there are still riots. And there is that idea that we need to wake up and appreciate the fact that we have a voice. You have a voice. Appreciate your voice. Appreciate that you can use your mind to think in ways that will change the world. And I think that it's interesting that it's called the Judgment card, but it really is depicting some sort of, it looks like a riot because there's posters and banners in it, but it also kind of reminds me of Times Square in New York, where there's a lot of lights and like street signs and people and buildings. And so I really see that in this card, it's about the fact that you are blessed to be able to make your own judgments, to be able, if you have a mind that is functioning properly, for you to be able to think about what is right and what is wrong, and how you want to rebuild the world around you, or how you want to change the world around you. You are blessed to be able to use your mind in that way, and you are blessed to be able to make your own judgments and make your own calls. When I say calls, I mean make your own calls as to where the buck stops, where the buck stops with you. Where do you draw the line for you? Where is it? No, this is not good anymore. I don't accept this. And I think there's that idea of boundaries, right? Like we are blessed and we need to wake up to the fact that we can create our own boundaries that will cause us to thrive. Like this wake up card with the flowers, we'll be able to blossom, we'll be able to expand, like with the root system of the flowers, that, you know, we could expand our roots deep into the earth and find our vitality and our sustenance there. The next card we have is the Two of Cups. And this card, it can represent love, or it can represent seeing yourself clearly. But I think when you put the love and the seeing yourself clearly together, it's about self-love. It's about the fact that we need to wake up to the opportunity of loving ourselves. And I think that with this card, judgment being drawing our boundaries, that's how we learn how to create self-love, is by drawing our boundaries, by saying, I'm not going to accept this type of behavior from such and such a person, or I'm not going to accept this law from the government. Of course, it can go more and more serious, because the more you disobey the government, the more the government will fight against you. But there's that idea that if you want to be true to yourself, you are capable to be true to yourself, and you are capable to make the small changes in your life. Let's say buying from local businesses when you go buying, instead of buying from Amazon, a big corporation. Perhaps you can find what you need from a small business online, or from a small business in your area. And so there's that idea that the Two of Cups is, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself and do you love yourself, or do you see yourself and not love yourself? Because we have the opportunity to create a life within ourselves where we can be happy with who we are. And it's an encouragement, because you get to choose your destiny. You get to write your story. You get to say what you will and won't accept. You get to look in the mirror and say, I'm going to change the way I look today, or I don't want to have my hair like this today, or I don't want to wear this shirt, I don't feel comfortable in it. That idea that we have free will when it comes to our body, and when it comes to what we eat, when it comes to what we listen to or watch, we can choose those decisions that we can make decisions that cause our lives to be better and more positive and higher vibe, or we can choose decisions for ourselves. We can make decisions for ourselves where we cause ourselves to come down and be diminished and brought down to a lower vibe. So there's that power within you, the strength for sure, and the love card, the judgment card, the wake up call card. That idea that this message is really one of saying you have the power within yourself. You have the power within your heart, with the cherry quartz crystal representing the heart chakra. It all starts there, right? Because I told you that the heart chakra controls the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. But the heart chakra also controls the solar plexus chakra, the sacral chakra, and the root chakra. So all the chakras above the heart chakra and all the chakras below the heart chakra are controlled by the heart chakra. And so you had the cherry quartz, which says that the heart chakra is really going to be involved in you accepting this message of encouragement. Do you believe in your heart that you are worthy to receive? Do you believe in your heart that you are strong, that you are loved, that you have the power to make your own decisions, and that you have the power to change your life and look at in the mirror and love who you see looking back at you? The next card we have is, your gentle kindness is your strength, not your weakness. So remember to be kind to yourself. Your gentle kindness is your strength, not your weakness. Remember that change takes time, right? And remember that the things that you do today will reflect into the future for yourself. What you do today will reflect what life will be like for you in the future. And so be kind with yourself. Don't force yourself to change drastically in a short amount of time. Make the small footsteps forward. Unless you're prepared to make a big change, don't traumatize yourself by, I think I want to have shorter hair, and you go from having super long hair to having a buzz cut. I mean, sometimes people do that, but they usually do that because they're feeling a strong sense of wanting to change their life completely and adopt a new identity. But even when you do that, there is that importance of being kind to yourself. Your gentle kindness is your strength, not your weakness. And again, we had the strength card right here. And so that there's the idea that you are strong, but you are also kind, and your gentle kindness is your strength, and it's not your weakness. So when somebody thinks about kindness, they might think about the most meek way of being, but the most meek way of being for you in your kindness is actually the strongest that you can be. The next card we have, and it's the last card, is the Two of Wands. So I feel like with this Two of Wands, it's really about destiny. It's really about looking out that window and seeing how do you want to create the world. As you see, there's a globe at her knees there, and there's, I think that's a map of the world, or maybe she wants to go traveling because she has a picture of a Volkswagen van, and she's looking out with her eyes longingly outside to the sky and to the clouds, and maybe she's thinking, where do I want to go next? And it doesn't have to be where do I want to go on vacation across the world, because with COVID it's not very possible right now. The whole world has changed because of that. But it's also, where do you want to go in your mind? What kind of practices do you want to adopt where you can become a more heightened and more sensitively aware human being? Because I really feel a sense of like yoga, native ancestry. I feel a sense of balance. I feel a sense of, with the string lights here, a sense of really making her home her sanctuary. And so remember that instead of having to run away from a place because you don't feel comfortable there, you can use what you have around you. I collected these flowers from the outdoors and I put them in a pot with some water. Sometimes the little things that are around you are what will create your environment the way you want it to be, so that you can feel comfortable. And you can still think and dream about the times when COVID is over and when you'll be able to travel again. Perhaps that's something that you want to do. I know that I was thinking I would have liked to have traveled before this. All my sisters were basically world travelers before COVID happened, and they got to go to so many places, and I never really took traveling seriously. So now that I want to go to Italy and Salem and New Orleans, you know, all these places, I don't feel like I can, because of the fact that COVID has stopped us from traveling, for even meeting, you know, in a house. We can't do that. But this is the idea of making your environment your safe haven. Wake up, look around you, see what it is that you want your surroundings to reflect. You want your surroundings to reflect you, then pick up some things that reflect you. Perhaps you can go to the dollar store if you don't have a lot of money and pick up some nice things. I picked up this witch at the dollar store, and I picked up this vase at the dollar store. I picked up this pumpkin at the dollar store, you know, and I'm sure I know it all adds up as far as money is concerned, but you don't have to be super rich to make your space a beautiful space that you love. And I think that that's one of the encouraging messages for you, is that yes, maybe you're thinking about wanting to go somewhere, go on a road trip or travel or just get out of your environment. But the thing that you can do is change your environment. Put some new sheets on your bed. Perhaps the color is not apropos for the time of season. Change the pillowcases on your living room couch pillows. You know, bring in some flowers. Put a candle on the burner, and you know, light a candle and have that meditative experience of having a candle burning, or light some incense and just meditate on how you feel safe in your own area where you live. And just be thankful that if you have a place to live, be thankful that you have a place to live. A lot of people don't. Be thankful that you're able to watch YouTube videos. And you know, I think this is really an encouraging message to say there's a lot that you can be thankful for, and there's a lot that you can change as well. And if there's something that is hurting your soul, hurting your heart, that you don't feel is right, you have the strength to be able to change it in love, making the judgments that you need to, looking at yourself and saying, what do I see in that mirror, and what do I want the mirror to reflect towards me, and start to make those changes so that when you look in the mirror months from now, you will see what you wanted today reflected back at you. Remember that your kindness is your strength, not your weakness, and to be kind to yourself and wake up to the fact that the world is yours. You know, she has her globe here at the bottom, and maybe she's focusing on the people of the world. Maybe she's focusing on how she wants the world to be a better place. And I think that if you want the world to be a better place, you're on the right track. So I just hope that you really enjoyed that reading, that message of encouragement reading. Remember, you picked the cherry quartz crystal here. So you had the wake up card, the strength card, the lover's card, the judgment card, the two of cups, the kindness is your strength, and the two of wands. You had you had the two of cups and the two of wands. So I really do believe that it's all about balance for you. It's really about making those little tweaks in your life where you can and where you want to really make your life the life that you want to live. And that's a message to me too, because what's important, I think what's important is feeling love and feeling compassion and trying to show love and compassion to those around us. And we can't do that with those around us if we're not doing it with ourselves and with the people within our circle. So remember to think about you first, and remember to think about the people around you that you love and that you should love or should respect, and then continue on and change the world for the better. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. For those of you who picked pile number 1, remember to like this video if you did, subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, comment down below. My name is Mo, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Hi, welcome to those of you who picked pile number 2 with the Mahogany Obsidian. This is an encouraging message for you. Pick a pile of cards. So you picked pile number 2. And we have our first card, Uncertainty. Choose who you will become. So the encouraging part of this is that you have the choice to choose who you want to become, really. We have gears. We have gears, which means like your brain is like, turning. The wheels of your brain are turning. Perhaps you are actually trying to change your look or change your life or change your situation. So with the gears, and it's interesting because we have this like caterpillar with a gas mask on, almost like so convenient for these times where we all have to wear masks and where it is an uncertain time for many people with the COVID virus happening and with the election in the United States and with all the riots all around the world and people passing away and people protesting against wearing masks, which is what is keeping people safe at this point. And so there's a lot of uncertainty in all of our lives right now. And you picked pile number 2, so we started out with this uncertainty card, but it says choose who you will become. So I remember that, and just a little while ago, a spiritualist was talking about how we were going through the tower moment where everything that was on shaky foundation was being torn down, and where it was time to rebuild a new world where people are accepted for who they are and where people can be whatever color, whatever gender, whatever sexual orientation, whatever belief, and then they can just get along with each other. And so it really starts with you. So for what's encouraging is that the whole change of the world starts with you. It's like that saying, be the change you want to see in the world. So choose who you will become. So if you have been spending a lot of time indoors due to COVID, rethinking your whole life, maybe this is the opportune time for you to choose who you will become. Choose how you want to present yourself to the world now that the whole world is a different place. I really also am seeing like the taupey brown, which is a really earthy card. And I think that it's also a card that's saying that when you choose who you want to become, you have that opportunity to really be a part of the earth and really help the people of the world and really help Mother Nature, really heal the world. Try your best to do what you can to reuse, reduce, and recycle, and to really do the best to lessen your carbon footprint on the earth when it's time for you to go on to your next life. So I think the encouraging message there is that you have the choice to choose who you want to become. The next card we have is the 5 of Pentacles, which says material trouble. Material trouble, and it's about the earth. The 5 of Pentacles. I really feel like with the 5 of Pentacles and material trouble, I really feel like this has to do with a lot of the riots and a lot of the the demonstrations of the injustices being done to people. So perhaps if you picked pile number 2, you are somebody who has already started taking part in changing the world by speaking out. And I think that maybe you also had some sort of material trouble due to the fact that maybe you are a person of color, maybe you are a female and you work in a workplace where you don't get paid as much as a male, or maybe you are somebody who doesn't identify as either female or male, but you identify with another sort of gender. So you're it's like you are like in the minority. So perhaps if you pick this card, you are in the minority. Perhaps you're a female, and perhaps you're a black female, and that makes it even harder in a white world like this one that we live in. Perhaps you are gay, or you haven't been able to come out and express yourself as that yet. But perhaps you are experiencing the idea that with this material trouble here, it's like you feel like if you express yourself, you will be in trouble. If you express who you are, if you come out of the closet and say, I'm a witch, or I'm not this religion that you wanted me to be all my life, I'm something else. Maybe you want to be Muslim and you grew up in a Christian family. Maybe you want to be Jewish and you grew up in a Christian family, and there's all those separations between religions, and I feel like that is also considered material because because religions are man-made as far as I'm concerned. And so I do feel like sometimes religions cause more division, and I'm sure many people would agree that religion causes more division sometimes than it does unite, but it doesn't have to be that way. And I think with this card, uncertainty, it's almost like we always feel a little bit uncertain, especially in these times, but we get to choose who we will become. And so even with the material trouble, there's this person holding up this pentacle that is made it looks like a flower holding up a pentacle surrounded by other flowers. And to me, this kind of symbolizes shining your light. Being the light, allowing the light within you to shine out, so that it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what minority you're representing, you are just a light. And yes, you can stand up for who you are as far as the labels that you put on yourself, or the labels that society puts on you. You can stand up and you can fight against it. But I think with this material trouble, I think it's almost like there is hope in the trouble, and the hope is in this flower that's being held up, this stick, this pentacle that's being held up, this spiritual idea of connecting body and spirit and really shining that light with the willpower and because I feel also a lot of fire energy with this 5 of Pentacles. I don't know why. Maybe it's the red and the fact that there's a wand that's being held up. I really feel like with material trouble, there's also that willpower to want to get by it, get past it. And I feel like that's an encouragement to you for those who are picked pile number 2, is that you have enough willpower to get through the material trouble, to get through the trouble that people are causing you and, or that people are trying to cause you. You have the willpower to fight against it and to choose who you will become. And it's interesting because the Mahogany Obsidian is the pile rock that you chose, and the Mahogany Obsidian, is formed in a volcano. So when you think about a volcano, you think about a lot of heat building up within the volcano, and then all of a sudden it explodes and the lava comes out of it, and this beautiful stone, the Mahogany Obsidian, is what survives from that explosion and that destruction and that catastrophe that humans call it when they have an exploding volcano in their or near their village, and it causes destruction. But it's that idea that through the fire you will thrive, through the difficulty you will come out stronger. Excuse me, I just burped there. The next card we have is the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is really a card of direction and message. And so what sort of direction do you want to go with your message? And with the 8 of Wands, there's also a lot of deers in the field here. There's that yellow sky, almost to say that the sun is setting or the sun is rising over the horizon. It's a card of beginnings and endings. It's a message card, and it's also a card of direction. So it's almost like, which way do you want to go with your message? How do you want to express yourself? And the encouragement in that is that you can express yourself, that you have a message that needs to be heard. And that with this card, the material trouble, the Five of Pentacles, that idea that you will overcome those situations that try to bring you down. And with this card, choose who you will become. Even though there may be uncertainty, choose who you will become. You have the choice to be who you want to be in this world. You have a choice to put that makeup on. You have a choice to not wear that makeup. You have a choice to wear a bra. You have a choice to not wear a bra. You have a choice to shave your head. You have a choice to not shave your head. You know, you have a choice to identify with this gender. You have a choice to not identify with this gender. The choice is yours. And with this card, Eight of Wands, it's really like, what is your message to yourself, and what is the message that you want to tell the world? Because you have a message, and it's an important message, and it's a message that the world needs to hear. The next card we have is the Death card. So card 13, related to Mars, the fighting planet. So with the Death card, it's really about, you know, she's traveling through like sort of like a sandy place, but there's water behind her. And with the water and the sand, it's like, with the sand, it's almost like it's like a dry place, a place where there isn't very much life except for cactuses. But then again, there's that idea that even in a dry area, there is still life, like cactuses. And then there's the water in the background, and there's that idea of like, instead of dry, it's like, it's moist. There's that ability for a different type of life to survive in that environment. And so with the Death card, I really think that it's one of surviving no matter what environment you're in, and allowing yourself to be reborn as many times as you need to be reborn. I really feel like this encouraging message for you who picked pile number 2 with the Mahogany Obsidian, it's really about choosing who you want to become and standing firm on who you want to become and being whoever you want to be, whatever the circumstances are around you, whether it's dry, whether it's humid, whether it's death, whether it's life, whether you want to, you know, take those shoes and give them away because they don't suit your style or your taste anymore, whether you want to buy a new pair of shoes that look completely different because you're trying to put out a new version of yourself. I mean, that's part of the fun of life, is that we get to be who we want to be. If I want to go ahead and be rockabilly tomorrow, I can start changing my hair today, you know. If I want to go ahead and be, you know, a hippie, I can go ahead and start changing my hair, or, you know, putting more color on, or bangles. And if I want to be, you know, if I want to dress goth, I can just go ahead and take all my black clothes, keep them, and give all my colored clothes away, you know. I mean, I'm not saying that we're being frivolous. I'm not saying that we're not being grateful for the objects we have. I'm just saying that within a certain boundary, there is that ability for us to become what we want to become, especially in a world that's changing like this one. There's that ability to tap into the age of Aquarius and the power of Uranus, and to really create something new out of yourself. The next card we have is the Seven of Cups. And again, it's that card with the idea of choice. The Seven of Cups, it's about, you see there's cups in the cutouts of the rocks here. There's a cup here, a cup here, there. So there's cups in the cutout of the rock, but there's also that idea with the Seven of Cups is that you need to really decide which direction you want to go in. Because as you see, if this knight at the bottom wants to get up to one of these cups, he's going to have to work hard to climb up the wall and get the cup that he wants. So it's really about, before making the move, start deciding in your mind what you want. And that's the encouraging thing about that, is that if you can do this, you have a mind that's able to create. You have a mind that's able to think outside the box and become what you want through your thoughts. And everything starts with thoughts, right? So what is most important with this Seven of Cups card for you is to acknowledge to yourself, what am I trying to portray to the world? How am I comfortable in my own skin with how I will portray myself to the world? And how am I uncomfortable? And how will I get past feeling uncomfortable. I guess I'll just have to be more confident. And how am I going to become more confident? Maybe practicing some self-love or some meditation where you can affirm to yourself that you are worthy and you are good and you are enough and you are doing your life's purpose and you are on the right track. Writing down some affirmations for yourself daily or every few days so that you can remember that you are worthy and you are good and you are happy and you are helping. And just always affirm to yourself all those good things, even if it's just one good thing that you can think of about yourself, one day. Try to get a journal and write affirmation journal on it and affirm to yourself on a regular basis who you are and who you're becoming. And with this card here, choose who you will become. Choose who you will become. And we had this card, the Five of Pentacles. Material trouble, getting out of difficult circumstances is your choice, and it's your right, and it's your ability that's going to help you do that. With the Eight of Wands, a message of who you want to be to the world. What kind of message do you want to put out in the world? With the Death card, where are you, and are you able to thrive and survive where you are? And if you are, be grateful for that. And with the Seven of Cups, when you make a choice about who you want to become, plan it out first before you start making the choice. Follow your heart and follow your soul and follow your mind and follow your willpower, follow your strength, and follow everything in your body, your brain with your thoughts, your hands with what you create, your heart with what you feel. Use everything that you have in your power to really choose what you want to become and choose what you want to put out into the world. And that is an encouraging message, because that's an empowering message that says you have the possibilities that are endless before you. The next card we have for you is get out there and make living look amazing. Get out there and make living look amazing. So that's just affirming to you and to me that, when we do go out of the house, because of COVID, we have a hard time sometimes getting anywhere. But when we do go out of the house, put that smile on your face and be thankful for who you are. Be thankful that, maybe you wear all black and you're a goth and, some people don't agree with it or don't really like it. I mean, obviously, if you're out with somebody who doesn't like it, try to do something if you feel like you want to make it a little bit less obvious that you're goth. Like for me, I have this sweater that has like a goat head on the back and like pentacles all around the hood and like goat head on the sides, and my boyfriend thinks I'm gonna get beat up if I wear that sweater outside. But the other day I wore it outside, and I walked out with it in confidence. I walked out with it on. I happened to be wearing all black, and he was like, "Why do you have to wear all black? Why aren't you wearing color? It's a nice day." And I was like, "Because I want to wear this. And if you accept me the way I am, then you should accept me wearing all black." And he did. But eventually, when I took off the sweater because it was getting hot, he was like, "Okay." I'm like, "Are you happy now?" I took off the sweater because I knew it was the sweater that bugs him, but it's a sweater that I love, and it's the sweater that I want to wear. And yes, I'm sure that some people may look at this sweater and be like scared or like judge me, but you know what? That's me. And I feel like this reading is for you. It's saying you be you. With this card here, get out there and make living look amazing, because you are amazing and because you are who you are and you are amazing. And so you can get out there and you can make your life and what you do amazing. The last card for you guys and girls is the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles. So with the King of Pentacles, it's really about sitting comfortably with what you have created. So I feel like this could be a future card for you, or maybe it's even a present card where you already have all this down pat and you already are like an amazing, beautiful queen. Like you're a guy, but you're a queen, or you're a girl and you're a king, or you're a girl and you're a queen, or you're a guy and you're a king. But like it could be anything, right? The possibilities are endless. And with this King of Pentacles, I really feel like there's a lot of relaxation in this card. There's a lot of being happy with what has been built. There's like a joie de vivre in this card with the King of Pentacles, connected to the earth, connected to that divine energy of being in charge and really owning it. And so for you, it's about, from the start we had choose who you will become. It was the uncertainty card, and it was said choose who you will become. And once you made that choice and you start moving with who you really are inside, you will be like this King of Pentacles and just be chill, just be one with like who you are, be comfortable in your skin, not let anybody push you or shove you in any other way, because you are like basically like the king of your life, and you have decided, like I did, to wear my sweater and to be like, if you don't want me to walk around with this sweater with you, leave, you know, like I don't want to be a bitch, but when it comes to wanting to be myself, I don't let anybody push me around. And I feel like with this King of Pentacles, for you, it just goes to show you that you will be the best version of yourself and you won't let anybody push you around. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. For those of you who picked pile number 2 with the Mahogany, Volcano, Obsidian. And remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. Leave a comment down below if you feel like you want to. And my name is Mauh, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Hi, welcome to those of you who picked pile number 3 for an encouraging message for you. For those of you who picked pile number 3, you picked the Brecciated Jasper stone. Beautiful. So what is your encouraging message? Let's go ahead and get into the cards. So the first card we have is card number 4. It says falling, the unknown, descent, momentum, and change. So let's go with the momentum for a little bit. With the momentum, I feel like that is a positive. I feel like that is an encouraging thing to hear, is that you have momentum, because when you have momentum, you can keep rolling, right? Like an object that is in motion, like it'll keep gaining momentum. As long as it's in motion, it'll keep moving. And so you have momentum, because so with the idea of momentum, that means that you're moving already. And so you don't need anybody to start to move you. But it could be because of the idea that you're falling, and maybe that's how you've gained your momentum. But it's also the idea that it's unknown. And so when it's unknown, you could think, oh my God, I'm falling into this thing that's unknown. This is horrible. And perhaps that's the initial thing that people would think. But it's change that you're going through here. What is unknown to you is the change. And where you're getting your momentum is the fact that you are falling. But listen, it could be falling from heaven, right? It could be coming from a place of beauty to another place of beauty, because the earth is a beautiful place too. So it doesn't mean that just because you're falling, you are going somewhere where you don't want to go. It could just mean that you're going somewhere that is unknown, and the reason why you feel like you don't want to go there is because it's unknown to you, and so it's scary to you, right? Because a lot of the times things that we don't know are scary for us. So with this idea of falling into the unknown and descending into a change that is perpetuated by the momentum that you're incurring right now, there's that idea that there is a change. And if there is a change at this point in time, I would say that it's for the better, because with the idea of how much the world has changed, the fact that you're changing too is actually an encouragement. Because if you stayed stuck in the old way of life, then you aren't evolving to fit into a world where people want change, people are fighting for change, people are arguing for change, people are putting out truths in order to achieve change. So for you, the encouraging message is that you're changing right now, and the whole world is changing with you. So don't be afraid that you're changing. Be happy that you're changing, because if you're changing, it means you're healthy, because you're changing with the fact that you have been secluded, let's say, because we've been on isolation for a long time, not being able to go out anywhere because everything's been closed. So you've been isolated in your house, or isolated in your wherever you live, and you've had a lot of time to think over who you are, think over what you want to do with your life. Perhaps you may have lost your job, and now you're thinking, how can I express myself through creative means? Maybe you want to be an artist, and maybe you're trying to start something for yourself where it is more appropriate for who you always have been, but who you've never been able to become, because the world hasn't been prepared for who you want to be until now. The next card we have is the Emperor card, card number 4. So the Emperor card is a card of being in control, right? The Emperor card is a card of a person who has a lot of fiery energy. And when I say fiery energy, I mean passion, devotion, a charge over things that are happening around him or her. It's that energy of creating your life in your head before you step out and you create it in the reality. And that's the way a healthy person would do it, right? Because it all starts with the thoughts in your mind. And so the fact that you have this Emperor card goes to show you that even though you feel like you're falling and you're descending into the unknown, and you have this momentum that you've gained because you're falling, it doesn't mean that you're falling without knowing your direction. I mean, for this card it says unknown, but I think that as you reach where you were meant to fall to, so to speak, like when an apple falls from a tree, it isn't a bad thing. When it will be used to nourish the animals or the bugs. When a leaf falls off a tree during the fall or the autumn season, it's because it's making way for winter and the change that the winter will bring. And so falling is not always a bad thing. Falling can mean change. And so with the Emperor card, though, the change could be a change that is bringing in that idea of you knowing who you are and you being confident in who you are. So I feel like that's a really encouraging message. With the Eight of Cups is the next card. So really going on a journey to discover who you are with the Eight of Cups out into the moonlight. I really feel like with the Eight of Cups, there's a sense of you've looked inward for a long time. You've done all the inner work, and now you're going out on this adventure, on this mysterious journey to really find your purpose. And so you've created this this way in your head with the Emperor card. You've created the plan, let's say, in your head with the Emperor, and now you're setting out on your magical journey to really become and see who you will become and how you will find what you're looking for. So with the Eight of Cups, I really feel like there is a sense of sadness because you're leaving something behind, but the sense of adventure is so much greater than the sense of sadness that it's a bittersweet feeling when you leave the Eight Cups and you go out to journey to see what you will find in the unknown. And the fact that there's that unknown in this card really plays into this falling card because it says the unknown on it at the bottom there. It says the unknown, descent, momentum, and change. So with that card saying the unknown, and with this Eight of Cups being setting out on a journey into the unknown, but having the Emperor card, which really brings those two together and ties in that idea that you are logically doing this. You aren't illogically doing this. You aren't just, off your meds and like going berserk. It's more like, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I take meds myself, so I know how I feel when I'm not taking them, and I do feel berserk. So when I say that, I'm not meaning it in a degrading way. I'm just saying that sometimes people need medication to do things the way they feel like they should do things. And so when I'm not on my medication, perhaps you can identify with this. If you take medication, it's almost like my brain is so, I hear so many things, I feel so many things, I see so many things that it's like I can't focus on what the main point is, and I'm just everywhere. I don't know if I'm just really psychically gifted, but when I take my medication, I feel like a normal human being. And so that's what I want to feel like. I want to feel like a normal human being. And so with this Emperor card, it's saying that you are acting like a normal human being. You're going off to find something that will satisfy you. You're not leaving your kids behind in the house and taking off to, another country and like abandoning your kids. That's what I mean when I say going berserk. It's not like you're doing something that will cause harm to other people. It's just that you're doing something for yourself to really find out who you are and who you are meant to be. So the encouragement in this message is that you are on that journey to really find yourself and to perhaps even awaken the Kundalini within you. Sorry, I dropped the Brecciated Jasper. The next card we have is Suspension, card number 12. And Suspension is the same thing as the Hanged Man in a sense. But as you see this card saying suspension, the person is doing it in a beautiful dancing sort of way, an acrobatic dancing sort of way. And so I think that this card is saying that when you go through hard times, for those of you who picked pile number 3, you do it with grace. You do it because the Hangman represents going through difficulty in order to achieve a sense of enlightenment and a higher sense of self. And so this card with the suspension, with the person looking like they're a dancer, it's almost like when you go through a hard time, like I said, you do it with grace, you do it with a peaceful, moving attitude. You know, even though you're hanging upside down, so to speak, it's almost like you're doing it in a form of artistic expression, even though you may have been put into the situation, you know, by divine. You are doing it in a gracious way. You are hanging there to become enlightened in a gracious way. When I say gracious, I mean giving to yourself, knowing that you are going through a difficult time, but you're giving to yourself by allowing yourself to move through that difficult time in a graceful way, in a way where you're not putting yourself down, you're not self-deprecating yourself, you're not telling yourself you're not worthy. You're telling yourself, I'm in this difficult place because I am worthy to become more enlightened, because I am worthy to find out my greatest calling, and because I know that through this difficulty I will be renewed, I will be refreshed, I will be like gold in a fire with all the impurities like burnt out of it. I will come out of this difficulty in a more beautiful way. That is what I see for you, for those who picked pile number 3. The next card we have is the 8 of Cups. So the 8 of Cups is about abundance. But I really feel like you had the 8 of Cups here too. It's about abundance, but it's about not appreciating that abundance that's been given to you anymore. It's not like you're being ungrateful for the abundance, because with this card here, look, there's money coming out of the cups, but it's almost like a frustrated situation. I'm not even really quite sure what's going on in this situation, but there's some frustration in this card with the 8 of Cups. And I see that there's like a mini person flying on a bird, and they're flying against, like in the direction that's going away from the cups. And so again, with that 8 of Cups for you, it's almost like the double 8 of Cups is saying that this journey that you're going on is meant to happen. This journey of leaving everything that you've had behind goes to show you that you are not a material person. You are not a person who cares about hanging on to your material possessions. You are a person who likes material possessions, yes, but who, instead of just having material possessions, they want to feel a sense of accomplishment. They want to feel a sense of doing their life's purpose. And it doesn't matter how much money this person has, what they really want is to be doing their life's purpose. And they are happy, not because they have this much stuff, but they're happy because they know that they're going on their life's purpose journey. And that even if they have to turn away from the abundance that they had before, they are still fulfilling their calling. And that's about you. These cards are about you, for those of you who picked pile number 3. Hopefully it's making sense to you, because it's a great encouragement and it's a great way to be. The next card we have is not fear nor anything else will stop you, which is again just a card to encourage you. Not fear nor anything else will stop you. Not fear nor anything else will stop you. So this is an affirmation from Divine saying nothing's going to stop you from going on this journey and fulfilling your life's purpose. That's just the affirmation that you just got, is that this journey that you're going on, the Divine is saying nothing's going to stop you from fulfilling your purpose on this journey. Next card we have is the King of Swords. And there's an owl on it, which depicts wisdom. And an owl can see 360 degrees. An owl can turn their head basically 360 degrees. And so it's really about seeing all around you. It's about really paying attention to everything that's around you, taking in everything around you, and really making decisions based on everything that you have calculated. The King of Swords is a king who loves to talk. The King of Swords is a person who is good with their words, who is authoritative but also helpful to impart wisdom. And I feel like that is your journey. For those of you who picked tile number 3, your journey is to receive wisdom, to be able to speak your wisdom to people on your journey. Your journey is going to bring you wisdom that you will be able to give to other people when you're going on your journey and when you've reached the end of your journey. Your journey is one of the King of Swords, where if a king could get up and go on a journey, you would be the King of Swords getting up and going on a journey to talk to people on the journey, to impart the sense of you don't need to have material things to feel happy. You just need to feel happy in order to feel happy. And so I really feel like for you, the encouraging message is you are not people who are, you are grounded, yes, because you're thinking logically and you know that these material things you're not going to be able to take with you when you pass on to the next life. So that's very logical and you're grounded, but you're also very, very spiritual, with the King of Swords being an intellectual person who has a lot going on in their mind, who has a lot going on in their crown chakra to be able to really communicate and impart their wisdom to other people. And so for you, I think this is a very encouraging message, because I feel like the message, especially with this one saying nothing will stop you, not fear nor anything else will stop you, I really feel like this journey that you're going to be going on, or that you're already on, or that you're choosing to go on eventually, it will be one of success. And I think the encouragement is that you will be successful. So I hope that for those of you who picked pile number 3 with the Brecciated Jasper, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a video that I upload. Leave a comment if you feel like you want to. Thank you for sticking around. My name is Mauh, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.